Hey Sam, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I just got a little bit stressed when I couldn't see Marley. I was thinking, oh, how do I add this? And I want to just learn how to use webinar on Zoom.
Yeah, I thought I would just come on early and just check everything was all set up. But yeah, I mean, I'm good to go. If you are.
Excellent. I am good to go. I'm so happy to have you here with us. Thank you so much. Fire on.
Okay, perfect. So is everyone here? Is everyone in? Can I see anyone, or is it just me and you?
It's the webinar, so you can just see everyone. You can see the chat. So if you want to listen to, if you want them to answer your.
Oh, sorry. Yes, all of the participants, just so I can see. Okay, perfect. And then can I ask, if you're watching, before I start, if you can just put something in the chat box, like hello or something, that would be fabulous. And then we will get started, just so that I can see you all in there.
Hello, good morning. Hello, look, there's all these coming.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Nicola. Hello, Caitlin. Hello, Diana. Hello, Barbara, Jessica, Susan, AD, Ruta. Okay, fabulous. Great. Okay, so what would be, that's good for me. I just really like to be able to see and hear everybody before I start. So thank you so much for having me, Ellie. Hello everyone. Hello, Sarah. Great, that's good. Everyone keeps saying hello. That's super important. And we will get started. Super excited. So I'm here to talk to you all about how you can become unstoppable in your business, but also how to find true success, because I think definitely in the online space there is a lot of comparisons that are made, and there is a lot of judgment around what creates success. And I think it's really important, from my time with you today, that we just reframe what that actually is for each of you, and we reframe the importance of what it means to be unstoppable, and also what it means to be successful. Before I do that, I thought it would be good for me to just introduce myself. So my name is Samantha Hearne. You can obviously call me Sam. It's so nice to meet all of you. I live in Windsor, so I live about 10 minutes away from the Queen. No, I don't have tea with her. But I live in Surrey, live in the UK. I was a teacher for 10 years, and then I set up my first business, which was in anxiety and mindset coaching. And then I transitioned into the business that I have now, which is business coaching and mentoring. So from working full-time as a teacher to setting up my first six-figure business, people then wanted to learn how I'd done that. So I now teach and coach my clients on how to create a successful business using social media and in a way that feels aligned with them, which is super important. You'll find me on most social media platforms, but this is the one that I'm on the most. So I spend a lot of time on Instagram. So if you did want to stalk me, then it's just my name, Samantha Hearne. But ultimately, that's where I share top tips, strategies, solutions, celebrate all of my clients, support all of them in their growth, and just offer as much, golden nuggets as I can, really, to my community. But like I said, I'm here today to talk to you all about what it means to be unstoppable and what it means to create true success. So my intentions for my time with you today are to unpick what unstoppable and success truly mean, and make sure that we don't have a one-size-fits-all method, because I don't believe in that myself. And I think it's important that you're supported and space is held for you to create success in whatever that means for you. Identify your unstoppable mindset, and also give you some strategies to support your success and your mindset, as well as then provide you an opportunity to reflect and move through this process with positive purpose. So that's the intentions that I would love to set for us as we start this masterclass. And before we begin, I would actually love for you to just tell me, out of 5, how unstoppable you would say you feel in your business at the moment. 1 is, I'm starting, I'm learning, and I'm really excited, but I wouldn't say I feel unstoppable just yet. And 5 is, yeah, I'm an absolute badass, and I fully stand behind my business and nothing gets in my way. So I'd love to see where you are on a scale of 1 to 5. And then we'll kind of dig further in to this for all of you, which would be super exciting. Love it. And also, it's so important to be honest. So I love this. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you, Caitlin. I really love your honesty, and that's what we're here for. Perfect. 4 for me. I love that. 2, 5, love it. 5, 4, 0, Elma, love that. Elma, that's what I'm here to do, to hold space for you. And there's no point in saying that we feel a 3, 4, or 5 if we don't. You know, this is your opportunity to be held in a safe space and to be seen. So thank you for being so honest. And if you are in a 4 or 5, amazing. I really, really hope that this gives you even more empowerment and motivation for you. Anyone else? Okay, 4 from Nilgan, Julia, a 5 as well, Jessica 4, amazing. And then my next question for you, if you're still answering that one, great. But the next thing I want to ask you, in terms of success, and remember, this is for you, and we're going to unpick this even further. On a scale of 1 to 5, how successful do you feel in the business that you have? 1 is, I don't feel like I'm in control of my business. My business is kind of ruling me at the moment, and I don't have a strategy that really, really excites me. And 5 is, yes, I feel that I have been able to create true success in my business, alignment, move myself forward, have really solid boundaries, create consistent income. So I'd love to see where you are with the success that you feel with your business at the moment. And that would be great as well to let me know. Okay, 3, I'm going to tie my hair up as well, because yes, as Elma said, Elif said, it is the evening for us, and I get very hot when I present. So 3, 3, great. This is really, really good. So I can now see where you are already, and a lot of you, when it comes to success, are kind of in between. Nicola, I'm so glad that you're here. Jessica, great. Okay, perfect. I will make sure that I give Elif these slides as well, so you can go through this as well whenever you need to, because there's quite a lot that I want to cover with you. But thank you so much for those of you that have already shared, you know, where you are on this scale and how you're feeling when it comes to your unstoppable mindset and also your success. So the first thing that I want to do, we're going to get started straight away, is talk about the difference between this unstoppable shift. And as you can see, there's 2 pictures here, one on the right, and going into that space of, and you will see this, you know, you'll see online, you can just tell when someone's energy shifts. You can just tell, can't you? You have this feeling of, wow, they're really on fire at the moment and everything's going well for them, or, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing this, that, and the other. They're just really, really moving themselves in a different direction. We get that vibe from people. I would love for you to be able to create that feeling for yourself on a regular basis. And more so than ever before, this year has presented us with so many challenges that we would never ever have anticipated. Going into January, this time last year, we were all raring to go. Let's start 2020. It's a new decade. It's going to be amazing. We're going to do all of these things. We feel invincible, ready to take on the world. And sometimes things do happen that create challenges for us, and that is okay. But if we haven't created this opportunity for ourselves to continually shift in our unstoppable nature, it can be really, really hard to bounce back. And it can be really hard to stay resilient and find that balance between nurturing the struggle that we're feeling and also embracing the opportunity that we've been given. And I think what's really important to share is, when we first entered into this uncertain climate, it was difficult for me as well. I definitely didn't know where it would lead and what would happen, but because I've done the work that I'm sharing with you today, my business has continued to grow exponentially than any other year before. And it's because I do have the belief in myself more than anything else, that throughout challenges, any troubles that we go through personally and in business, I have an unstoppable shift I can always move to. I have a gear that I can always go to and say, do you know what, this is where I'm going. My success is inevitable. The business success is inevitable. This is what I'm destined to do. And I'm hoping that throughout this session together, as well as provide you with some strategies, it also just gives you the reassurance that whatever is thrown your way this year, and for some of you it will be some personal challenges, some business challenges, some life challenges, relationship challenges, all sorts of challenges, you always have a shift inside of yourself that we can go to. And I really hope that we can uncover that for you today, but every day really, because it is so important in business. Business is not a plain sailing one-way lane. There are lots of detours, speed bumps, challenges along the way. So I'd love for us to get you there, to have this unstoppable shift in your lifestyle, your business, your energy. But what I would love to do is start off with talking to you about your unstoppable or your unstoppable success value. I use both of these. A lot of these terms I used to use in teaching. I was head of sixth form, so I was in charge of 18-year-olds going off to university, trying to engage them in topics they didn't want to be engaged in. So I try, even in business, to make sure that I make it as relevant for you as possible. So the first thing that I would love to do, which is our first intention, is to unpick your success value. So I want to ask you a question, and you can take note of this and journal on it later and reflect on it. But the context behind the question is what I shared at the very start of this, which is success does not mean the same for everyone, and nor should it. And I feel so passionate about that. We should not all be striving for the same version of success, because it doesn't have the same value to each of us. For some of you listening, your version of success could be to have a holiday home by the beach that you get to go to with your dog any weekend of the year. For some of you, it could be to retire your parents. It could be to be a millionaire. It could be to pay for your children's schooling. There are so many reasons that success matters for each of us. So the first question, and I would love for you to share in the comments your reflections on this, but I would really love to invite you to do this on a deeper level after this session. If I was to say to you, what does true success mean and look like to you? What would be your response? What does true success mean and look like to you? And it could be a few ideas, bullet points, a sentence, a word, an adjective. But I'd love for you to share in the comments what that does mean and look like for you. And also, hello, Sarah, just got your Q&A there. But also financial security. Nicola, expand on that for me. What does that mean? Enough to be able to pay your bills, or enough to be able to travel first class to the Bahamas or own a private jet? What would you say and same for you, Caitlin, financial stability and security, what is that?
I can allow them to talk if you want. Would you like
Oh, that's okay. If we stay like this, then I can, yeah, perfect. Thank you. What is that? Go a bit deeper for yourselves. So, and that's really important. We have to be able to quantify this for ourselves, because financial stability, Caitlin, it could be to be able to pay your bills or have no credit cards, or it could be to own your own house and not have a mortgage, or to be able to treat your family twice a year. How big are we talking? What does financial security or financial stability mean in your success value? And for everyone else, so Jessica, Julia, Doris, Diana, Ruta, Caitlin, Barbara, let me know what would be your true version of success. What would that mean or look like for you? And if this is creating a stumbling block, this is a great question to spend some more time reflecting on. Because if we don't have a really strong success value, how do we really know what we're working towards? Success is raising well-balanced children. I love that, Diana. Okay. And how does your business support you in being able to do that? Children who can look after themselves in the future. Okay. So independence. So how can your business and what you're doing in your business and for your mindset support you in that process? Is it to create more opportunities, more choice for them, be totally independent and free of the obstacles, lack of money? Okay, great. So to not have any reason, you don't want money to be the reason you can't do something, Elma. You never want money to be the reason that you can't do something. Okay. Enough to not have to worry about the future, not to be at the mercy of an employer, knowing that I will always be able to pay my way, never needing to rely on anyone else. Okay, again, so to not ever have money as a blocker, that's really, really important to think about that. I'm self-employed and work from home, love that. Okay, perfect. So do you want to be able to, create more freedom so that you can be at home and create well-balanced, independent children? Would that be what this business success looks like? It's fulfilling my heart, which it does, and earning enough to help my children to get on the housing bandwagon. Okay, Sarah, lovely. So this is really important. And I think this is what matters most, true success for each of you. I want to be able to work for myself. Yes, Jessica, create more freedom to be home for my kids, determine my own time, create my own opportunities. I love that. And the reason this matters, and I want to give you an example. So I used to work 6 till 6 in teaching. As I said, so I was an assistant head teacher, so I had a lot of responsibilities, and I worked in one of the best schools in the UK. So I would do 12-hour days. So I'd wake up at 5:30 and I would get home by 6:30. And this morning I had an nail appointment at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning, and I said to my husband last night, 3 years ago, being able to do something on Monday at 10 o'clock would have been an absolute dream. But I now take that for granted because this is my everyday life. You know, I have a business, I have a team, I have amazing clients, and it's so easy to forget the small things. But when you align with your success value, and I sat in the car waiting for my appointment, that in itself allows me on every single level to feel the success that I craved for myself, because I know, and that's when the shift comes in. So being able to work for yourself and passionate about my job, I love that. Financial wealth, to be able to continuously reinvest in my business. Jessica, that is the reason get true successful businesses, because they see the value in investing in themselves, in their business, in their teams, in their energy, in their health. So that's a really, really healthy, positive mindset to have, to want to continually grow and learn more. Education is powerful. And I'm really, really glad that you value that. I don't want to work for someone else and build for someone I'm no longer aligned with. Exactly, you want to be aligned with those values. This is so good, and thank you so much for sharing these things. And I would love for you to, after this, think about what that looks like. So for example, with the financial freedom, what's a number that you want your business to create? To be able to support your children in buying houses, how much do they need for a deposit? To pay for schooling, how much is tuition? Let's get really serious about this for yourself, because the success value is where unstoppable comes in. When you sit down and realize, okay, it's, I don't know, let's say 40,000 to be able to pay 2 house deposits. And you think, oh my gosh, okay, if I divide that by 5 years, it's how much a month? This is what I could earn. I could definitely do that. So when you really get serious about these numbers and what it looks like and your success value, this feeling of being unstoppable, it becomes realistic. And it becomes something you can actually create. You can make it happen. And you realize that the things that we always put off and say, well, when I get here, or in the future, or when the time's right, or maybe next time, or I don't feel ready. When you sit with that piece of paper and you see it in front of you, you realize that it is possible. It's not out of reach. It might take you longer than 5 minutes, which of course social media is very good at accelerating time. It might take you more than a click of a finger, or one day you wake up and you've got it all, but you might think, but I could do this. I could do this in 2 years. I could do this in 3 years. It's not impossible. And I did my 2021 business plan in October, and I exaggerated everything. So the amount I would need for X, Y, and Z, what I want to save, all of these things, I exaggerated all of it. The school that I sponsor, all of these things. And I still realized if I divided that by the months of the year, the clients that I would have, it's totally doable. I can grow my business, work less time, still make an impact, still develop underprivileged countries and children in getting an education. And all I need to do is this. So it stops your brain from finding reasons that things are unachievable or unattainable. That, you know, oh, this is just out of reach for me. Oh, I know they've done it, but I can't. So that's the first thing I want you to think about, your real success value. If you want to be financially free and never have to have money as a blocker, well, what is that though? What is financial freedom to you? And what is the number? And work out how long it will take for you to achieve that and reach that point, which is so important. To take that a step further, thank you, Jessica. I then would love for us to spend some time, which is my second intention for the masterclass, looking at your unstoppable mindset, in rewriting your normal. And this is something that took me a really, really long time to do. And it's not easy and it's not quick, but it is so, so powerful. So when I say rewrite your normal, again, this will be things that you do after this session. There'll be a lot of food for thought and things running around in your mind. I want you to think about the way that your thoughts instantly speak to you. For example, if I was to say to you, I will be a millionaire next year, what would you say or think? Oh my gosh, she's so lucky. Or no, that can't be real. Or wow, oh, I wish that was me. Or if I was to say, I've got a Ferrari on my driveway, or I own a private jet, or I don't know. If I was to say these statements, what happens? What happens in your mind? Or if I ran my own business and this morning was feeling a little under the weather and managed from home. Nice presentation. I love that. Thank you, Doris, for sharing that. And I hope you feel better. Or if I was to say to you, I work 2 hours a day and I make more than I did as a teacher. What thoughts come up? Or if I said to you, in 5 years, you could be a millionaire. Or in 5 years, you could pay for your parents to have a mortgage-free house. What does your brain tell you? This is what I want us to spend some time identifying. And the reason for that is we are all in a society of societal norms. In so many ways, we are all in societies where there are norms. What's normal? What's expected? What's common? What the majority do. And sometimes that can mean that your version of normal becomes less than what you are capable of. And it becomes restrictive. So I would love for you to spend some time digging into this. Do you have some expectations around money, wealth, success, business, women, entrepreneurs, self-development, investing? It could be all sorts. Do we have some normals that we face, but actually it's just because that's what everyone else is doing? Or when you went to school, the girl at school that did really well, everyone else bitched about, oh, well, it's all right for her. And you get sucked into that version of normal. That we all are exposed to situations of the majority. And it's really important that we take responsibility for how, as adults, we now show up for ourselves. Because you'll all know this, only we can truly dictate where our life goes. And if that statement even gets you thinking, oh, well, no, it's not me. It's not me. It's the tax man or, the bills I have to pay. But we have the choice to rewrite our version of normal and decide where we want to go, what we want to do, and how we want to function. And there are so many examples of this, and I don't want to talk about this for too much, but in terms of your mindset, you get a partner. Oh, when are you going to get engaged? You get engaged. When's the wedding? You get married. When are you going to have children? Oh, when are you going to move house? There's always, in any scenario, we always have that. You get one dog. Oh, you're going to get another dog, so he's got a friend. It doesn't matter what it is, but we create expectations. And it's the same in business. Some people start their business and they'll be exposed to think, oh, are you growing your Instagram? How many followers have you got? And we do it in so many examples, but I really want you to think, where are you finding your mindset or your version of normal restrictive? When is it saying, I can't do that? This can't be me. I don't think I'm ready. When are you finding your mindset not allowing you to be unstoppable or think bigger than where you really are? And I would love for you to answer this question in your journal or in a notepad. If I allowed myself to truly accomplish my wildest dreams, how would my life be different? If I allowed myself to truly accomplish my wildest dreams, how would my life be different? And spend some time journaling on that. How would my life be different? And you might even have things like, do you know what? I wouldn't give in to my mother-in-law every Sunday and go around there. I wouldn't say yes to going for walks with this friend that I don't enjoy walks with. It doesn't have to always be massive things, but how would your life be different? If you truly allowed yourself to accomplish your wildest dreams, what would be different in your life? And give yourself the chance to rewrite that. And to take that further, here's some strategies for you. So I always try to make sure that whenever I deliver anything, you've got some tangible things that you can do, you can take away and you can take action on, because I think that's really important. And this is going to support your success in your business, but also in your mindset. So there are 4 things that I do on a consistent basis to support the growth of my business and also support the growth of me as a CEO, as a business owner and as a woman that is creating success for myself. I think that's really important. So the first thing I do is I create a success list. So at the start of each month, I will write my success list for the month ahead. At the end of this month, I want to be able to celebrate what? Then I create a weekly focus that supports that success list from happening. For me, one of my biggest superpowers is strategy, planning, productivity, and having an action plan. So I create a weekly focus. What's the one thing I want to focus on this week that supports me getting to the end of the month and these success lists becoming reality? Then I would have an action plan. I think this is really important for all of you. If right now we have to-do lists, that's not the same as an action plan. An action plan for me is a roadmap to get you to the destination you want to be at. It's not a list of tasks to get to the end of the day and say you've done something. If you know that you would like to grow your Facebook group to 100 people, you would like to start a podcast, you'd like to launch a group program, you know, whatever it might be, I want you to start thinking, what's my action plan to actually get there? What do I actually need to do? And the final piece of the puzzle, if you haven't done this, this is a really, really good opportunity is to think of your big picture. And I would like to always try and say that it's around 5 years, you know, your big picture vision from now, and map out where you would like to be by 2025, where you would like your business to be, where your life is. And remember, this is with your unstoppable mindset. So this is not based on your current circumstance. Oh, well, based on where I am now, no. This is your bigger picture vision. If your wildest dreams come true, what is that big picture vision? Okay, so that would be my 4 strategy process. And I've got one more slide, and then I know my time is coming to an end. It goes so quickly, doesn't it? But I think it would be really important for me to offer you this next opportunity to think about your version of success. So with the majority of my clients, and even with myself and with all of you, we go through waves where we feel like we can do anything, and then we self-sabotage. No. And then we're like, yep, I can do anything, or maybe not. Or yep, you know, if you, let's say you launch, you feel amazing before the launch, then you launch and you're like, this isn't gonna work. And then someone buys and you're like, this is gonna work. That, you know, this roller coaster of emotions as a business owner. I think what would be really good is to use my detach and reattach method. So this just shows you what tends to happen in our business. We lead with value, we then create an offer, then we get feedback, people saying yes or no, which then converts, and then we think it's successful. So we put the value out there for the world, we give an offer, people buy it, then we think we're successful. What I would love for us to do is detach and reattach in the following ways. This is what it currently looks like. Success is based on conversions, how many people we work with, how our business grows, that kind of thing. What I would love for you to do is reattach with your success based on the value that you put out there in the world, the impact, the effort that you put into your business. And if you're starting a business, the effort that you put into putting yourself out there, that is where the success happens. The only reason I'm here is because when I was working full-time, 10-hour days, I would come home, I'd work in the evenings, I did 2 lives a week, every single week in my Facebook group, I worked weekends, and I really did try hard to make this my new reality, and this is where I am now. That's a success in itself. So give yourself the opportunity, even if it's down to health and you've started going to the gym, or you've got a new workout routine, or you're starting to meditate, the fact that you're even doing it and putting in the effort, that creates success in itself. So give yourself the chance to reattach to the input that you are putting out there and detach from the output that you receive from others. That is really, really important. You are not defined by one launch, one Instagram post, one podcast, one email being opened. You are defined by your consistent efforts to move yourself forward for the life that you want to build, which is really important. So, my final thing for you is...
Dan, you still have lots of time because you've already started early, so you can just take as long as you like.
Oh, great, everyone.
Don't
Hopefully you don't mind, ladies. So that would be how I would like you to start thinking about your business, your mindset, and what that looks like. And to take that a step further, I created an equilibrium. So this is really important when we look at how can we support your mindset. So can you let me know if you have ever doubted your success? Have you ever thought, oh, maybe this isn't going to work, maybe this isn't the right time, maybe I'm not ready, you know, or maybe it's not what people want? Okay, thank you, Jessica, for being so honest and being the first person to put yourself out there. Thank you, Caitlin. Yes. Anyone else has ever thought, you know what, maybe it's just not my time, I'm not good enough? Julia, you 100% are, but thank you so much for sharing that mindset and that thought. That's so important. In order for you to be able to break a habit, a thought cycle, and this is what I used to do with the anxiety and the mindset coaching, in order to break those cycles, we have to share them. So that's so important. Absolutely good, Ruta. I'm so glad that I'm not on my own here, feeling, you know, have had those thoughts, but hopefully what we can do is give you some opportunities to think about how we can create a new equilibrium for you, because no one knows truly what happens in your business apart from you. No one truly knows. You know, people can say online that they've had a really successful launch or this happened or that happened, but no one really knows unless you're on the inside of that business. And I've had launches over the last 3.5 years that did not work. In my first 18 months, I was trying everything, you know, I was putting myself out there, I was taking risks, I was taking leaps. I never ever gave up. I definitely had things that didn't work as well as I wanted them to. But it always taught me something. And in order for me to have this unstoppable mindset and this passion for my own success, this real relentless drive for my success, is the fact that I would always keep going. So I would invite you, before we go into this equilibrium task, to think to yourself, if you have ever had those thoughts, what drives you more? Your want to succeed, or the normality of failing? Told you this wouldn't work. I knew it. I knew this wouldn't work. That becomes normal. It becomes our safety zone almost. You know, I told you I wasn't ready and here's the results. I knew this wouldn't work out and look what's happened. And we almost normalize this version of ourselves that's less than good enough, rather than thinking, well, what matters more? Your passion and your drive for success, the fact that you want more for your lives, you want more for your families, you want more for yourself, you want to work for yourself, create freedom, choice, you want to, pardon me, be able to live life in a way that actually excites you. That's your right. That's not greedy or selfish or impossible or unrealistic, but you just have to be asking yourself, when we have those dips, well, what matters more? My drive to succeed or the normality of failing? So this is where the equilibrium comes in. So like I said to you, I've had many a thing in my business that did not go how I thought it would, good as well as bad. Some things have done so well and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And other things I'm like, what was that? But there's always an equilibrium. So for me, and this would be really important for all of you, you can see on the graph there, there's like a yellow dotted line and you've got like a bit of a wave in between. We want to try and avoid the peaks and the troughs in your mindset and in your business. So the real highs and the real lows. And people always say to me, what? You want to avoid those real highs? Well, yes, because usually that involves then a big come down or a self-sabotage, or we judge ourselves. So we want to try and create an equilibrium where we are in the majority of the time. So the way that you can do this is you need to have, I would say 3 to 5 maximum, 3 to 5 truths that are valid no matter what is going on around you. No matter what's happening in your business, in your personal life, anything. 3 to 5 truths that you can always believe in. And when you find yourself going through these dips, we need to use those truths to bring you back to normal, to the equilibrium, not to the high and feeling like you can take on the world, just to like base camp. So it could be, I always have a choice. That's one of my truths. I always have a choice. So when I'm having those lows and I think I'm not good enough or whatever it might be, I always have a choice. And that just prompts me. I can choose to continue to think like this, or I can choose to try again or pick myself up or do something different. I always have a choice. I always say that. And in March, when we first had this current situation, I could have panicked and thought, I should have stayed in teaching, you know, it was a safe option, all of those things. I always have a choice. So we need to create some truths for you. I can always try again. That will always be true. I can always try again. All that is there to do is to remind you, in business, everything fluctuates and changes in different ways. And the success of your business, your lifestyle, all of these things, your attitude, it goes through different changes. And especially as women, we go through seasons. We have different times to be really, really action-based and times that we need to be more surrender-based. And this is a process. And so is your mindset, and so is your business. But if you have some truths that you can always come back to, no matter what happens, you can find hope and resilience in those truths. And I would love to invite you to think about that, to think about what do you know is always true. For example, another one of mine is success is my right. That is a truth for me. Success is my right. I have a right to be successful, and I can be successful in my own right. I'm not successful. I'm not an Olympic athlete or, a world champion skydiver or whatever it might be, but I can be successful in my own right, and that's my right to do that, just like it's all of yours. So when I do have those moments, come back to those truths, because the way that you create an unstoppable business is with an unstoppable mindset. And the way that you create a success value that excites you is by knowing exactly what that success means for your future. What does that look like in your actual life? Financial freedom looks like what in your life? We all have different versions of that. So your equilibrium and your truths have to be based on you in your life, not someone else's. So, there's so much support that you can have around looking at the success of your business, of course, but ultimately, if it doesn't align with your success value, it's going to be really hard for you to get excited by that. And if you don't feel excited and like, yes, this is happening, this is for me, your mindset will suffer. And it's really important that we create support systems for you that mean, like we said at the very start, that anyone feeling a 3 or below in how unstoppable they feel or how successful they feel, that you have some strategies to support you in creating the success of your business and for yourself. So I know I've started early, so you've had me for longer, ladies. I hope you don't mind. But what I would love to do is just give you the opportunity before you break up for the new year to also remind yourself that you never need to be tied down to a time of year or a day of the week or a month. So if you're currently thinking to yourself, it's Monday and I haven't started the week as, kick-ass as I wanted to, or I just don't feel as amazing, that's okay. You've got Tuesday tomorrow. There is no reason that December the 7th can't be the start of a new life for you. You do not need to wait for January the 1st or Monday or next week, whenever it might be. You can choose. So remember, back to one of my truths, you have a choice. You have a choice. And you can choose to rest on a Wednesday instead of a Sunday. You can choose to work 10 hours because you feel really excited, or 3 hours. You can choose. Your success is not defined by the day of the week or the month or the year or whenever we're in. It doesn't work that way. And that's another norm that I want you to rewrite if you're finding yourself putting yourself in that bracket. And to finish, if you would like to spend some time with me looking at how you can kickstart your business before 2021, I am actually running a challenge next week. It's called the Holiday Kickstarter Challenge, and it's 5 days all around how you can kickstart your business before you end the year, because you don't need to wait until the beginning of a new year and then almost feel overwhelmed. It's another new year. I don't know where I'm going. We've all been there. The link is on there for you, so you could just take a photo of that or screenshot that. It's free as well, so you could do that. If not, and I am going to continue to see you online and support your success, which, Elif's amazing at bringing people together and creating amazing communities, then this is where you can find me. It's all my name, to be honest. If you just search my name, you will find me. I'm on like the first five pages of Google. So if you just search, you'll find me. But my Instagram is there, my Facebook page and my website, but the main place that I hang out really is Instagram. But before I go, I would just like to give you the opportunity, if you have any burning questions around any of the strategies that I've shared with you, you want any more clarity, please share so that I can offer you that support before you have your next amazing speaker giving you some more pearls of wisdom. Otherwise, it has been, whilst you're typing, if you do have questions, it's been amazing to spend some time with you ladies. And, you know, like I said, LF brings amazing people together. So I know that you are in such good hands. You've got such an amazing evening ahead of you.
Thanks, Sam.
Of course. And I do hope that, you know, wherever this leads you, you do end the year feeling as amazing as you deserve to feel. You know, 2020's created some challenges, but you've got this. You know, you're incredible women. You're doing amazing things. You're passionate about your futures. You're so welcome. You dropped some gems. I already added you on Instagram and I'll be following you for more. Oh, Jessica, you're so welcome. And thank you for being here and being so honest. You know, it does take a lot to share where you are with everything. So you're so welcome. Hopefully I see you in the Kickstarter. If not, I'll see you online. And thank you so much for having me. I've had such a good evening with you.
Sam, I'm not surprised your tag name is Sold Out Sam.
Yeah, no, by the way, I didn't give myself that name, just FYI.
I know you didn't, but honestly, your energy is out of this world. I love
thank you.
You've given such valuable information, because a lot of people, when you say to, I mean, I did this with my coach at the beginning of this lockdown. Has been my eye-opener for me. And I sat down and we were talking about, like, what's your goal? And I just put down 1 million. And he said, that's a small goal. He said, how can we achieve that? And I said, well, I don't think that's a big goal. Like you said, we work backwards.
Always.
So divide that 12 months, that's how much that does. How for the per week, that's how much. If I sold that many this, that many that. This is how easy it is, guys. Honestly, ladies, don't put yourself off with your goals, because work backwards.
Always work backwards.
Work backwards. It's like, I mean, when everything I've done so far, I am a businesswoman who started with nothing. I had 265 pounds. You know, and my first sewing machine was given to me by a woman who was about to throw it in the tip. I made my first collection of clothing with my old friend's grandmother's stuff that, again, about to go in the tip, you know, and that's where it started. It just doesn't happen.
That's so true. When you think back to then, when you're in the position of being at the beginning, if you're only ever looking ahead, it will always seem impossible, right? You know, right. You didn't have the sewing machine, you had no money. It's like, well, what am I doing? If you think about where you want to be at the end, then you can start to get resourceful, like you did. Okay, well, I'll start with this collection. I'll start with this. So it's so important that you always work backwards. Otherwise, you constantly feel like you're on an uphill battle, you know?
Exactly. And I had my ex-partner's grandmother was clearing her house. She was like in her 90s and they were going to sell the house, and they had this literally skip outside her house and everything was going in the skip. And I was like, oh my God, these are vintage, incredible pieces. I know somebody would pay a lot of money for these. So I literally took everything out of the tip and ended up putting them in our card, saying, I'm going to organize an event. I've never organized an event, but I know I can do it. If somebody else did it, I can do it. Why couldn't I? I can Google it.
Yeah, exactly. And
I did it.
The people that try and fail will be the people that succeed, because you're willing to try. And I think that's the most important thing. And so many people are almost scared of failing because they think that it will make them a failure. But it's so far from the truth. It's so far from the truth. If you try something and you fail, you're more of a success than someone that's never tried. And you will always create more success than someone that's never tried, because you're putting yourself out there. And I think that in itself, what you've just shared, we need to rewrite that story. Because if we're always scared of failing, success will never come, because success is the opposite of failure, and we need both in our life to learn what we truly appreciate. So if you try something and it doesn't work, that doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you're a success. You just have to keep trying.
Exactly. I mean, especially if you have got people around you who says yes, no to everything, you've got to do that definitely. If they say nay, that means a yes for you to go ahead, because those naysayers never have vision that you have, and don't listen to them. And I had so many, oh, but you can't do that. You can't do this. And I thought, why not? Why not? I don't get it. And I remember having this conversation with one of my friends. I don't know what I was doing, but I said, well, nobody knew Victoria Beckham 15 years ago. Look at her now. I love her. I admire her. How much she's developed herself, how much she's grown into a person. Now she's a leading person in fashion industry. She didn't have a fashion degree. She doesn't even have a degree. You know, it's like she's made herself a success because she believed, she had a vision, and she just went for it. Nobody knew her, and now everybody does. And one day that's going to happen to you. So
100%.
Amazing. I loved everything you shared so much there, and it's great that you're sharing the challenge.
Thank you for having me. I hope you have an amazing rest of your evening.
Thank you. And our next speaker's just logged in. I can see her there. Hi, Louise. Thank you, Sam.
You're very, very welcome. I'll speak to you soon. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Take care.